I'd like to introduce you to a typical example of the deluxe artist books that we've been producing in the last 30 years. It's The Disappeared, a collaboration from 2002 between the playwright, poet and Nobel laureate Harold Pinter and the Royal Academician Tony Bevan, painter and printmaker. Actually a shotgun wedding, since although Bevan of course knew Pinter's work, Pinter was new to Bevan's, and so there was a subtle sort of courtship before the project took off. Here you can see the letterpress printed book in its livery of terracotta cloth, sitting in a slipcase bound in the same material. The cover contains an image by Tony Bevan, which the binders have crushed into the cloth. The slipcase also contains a signed and numbered original etching by Tony Bevan called Violet Interior. It's a subtle and haunting image, part architectural, part human ribcage, which I feel gives an oblique nod to some of the texts by Harold Pinter, in which humans are encased or confined in rooms within mysterious houses. The book, which, like all our limited editions, is a feast for the hand and eye, as well as being deliciously sniffable, is letterpress printed on decal-edged Arche vellin paper by Sebastian Carter of the Rampant Lions Press, who previously had printed for us texts by Tom Gunn, Ted Hughes and Blake Morrison, and who a couple of years after this volume also printed for us Seamus Heaney's The Testament of Cresseid. The text here consists of a selection of poems by Harold Pinter from the 1950s through to the late 1990s, which we chose together. Incidentally, his first full poetry collection was published by Enith Arman back in 1968, and he regularly wrote poems thereafter, many of which seem in a way like concise distillations of his plays. As we go through the book, you'll be able to see that the images are interspersed with the text. Each of the images subtly matched to poems, obliquely rather than obviously, and each one tipped in, very delicately glued to the text pages, so that the images sit just proud of the pages, giving them greater prominence and volume, rather in the same way as in 19th century illustrated novels and non-fiction books. The text itself has been designed and hand-printed by unquestionably the greatest of contemporary letterpress printers, Sebastian Carter of the Rampant Lions Press in Cambridge, and his choice of this Arche paper, a paper loved by artists, is perfect for the impression that the handset metal type makes on the paper. Immaculate, crisp, and beautifully legible. Towards the end of the text is the colophon page. It's usually the very last printed page in the book. And on this page, the poet and artist sign. The page also gives us all the information about the edition, the size of it, the typeface, the type of paper, the name of the bindery, and so forth.